just a few blocks from here on the iconic floor of the historic New York Stock Exchange, with 200 leaders from business, charities, universities, and the disaster safety movement, we held a marvelous forum, the New York Recovery and Resiliency Leadership Forum. We remembered the nearly 200 lives lost to Hurricane Sandy, but we also celebrated how much New York City and the region has done to recover from Sandy and prepare for the inevitable next storm.
Renaissance Re began this series of events almost a decade ago to focus on the understanding of, preparation for, and recovery from natural disasters and other severe risks. Since then, we've hosted nearly 4,000 attendees, leaders like yourselves, 400 expert speakers, over 10 prior award-winning forums.
The entire RenRe family has been so forward-thinking about this market, trying to do what's right? It's not just about the market opportunity, and there is a huge one if you get this right, but also how do we keep people safe? And I think one of the things that I've kind of come to realize is that we have a whole lot of public policies right now that are actually putting people in harm's way unknowingly.
At IBHS, we tend to look at buildings holistically. They are a system. The roof is the largest potential opening on any building. It is the first line of defense against wind, water, fire, hail, weight of ice and snow, etc. When the roof is damaged and water gets in, bad things happen.
The city's multi-layered strategy for climate change adaptation now represents a $20 billion citywide program ranging from buyouts in Edgemere and Staten Island to plans to improve and expand on coastal protection along the Lower East Side.
We are proud that every Bermudian has a storm-safe home, and not just those residents who live in high-value dwellings. The same construction methods and materials are used to build every single home on the island. We have no place to run, so we bunker down. Our knowledge of hurricanes and the remarkably composed temperament that comes with all of Bermudians and the product that we have built for generations is part of our history.
Sandy was at least a $70 billion disaster. $50 billion came in the form of federal taxpayer dollars flowing into New York. And it was a contentious issue. It almost didn't pass the Congress, it almost didn't get here. And I think the next time this happens, whether it's in New York or somewhere else, it's going to be even harder given what we see in Congress these days.
There's a lot we can and should be doing to build stronger homes, businesses, and communities.
We've done many studies about the cost and the cost benefit of a dollar spent on hurricane preparedness and resiliency. A dollar spent proactively saves $4 after the event. And if there's one thing that everyone walks away with today, I would like you to think about that.
Our next speaker has been an important voice in the national conversation about risk and resilience. He's been a prominent advocate for all the issues that we care about and that would bring us here together today, highlighting resiliency needs throughout our nation, and most importantly, championing smart investments that give us the best return on improving resiliency.
We had $1 billion in a sleepy community of 50,000, $1 billion in insurance losses paid in the first 100 days. When you see cash flow at that amount, you can start feeling the recovery in a community. And it's only possible when you have a strong regulator that also works with strong, financially solvent insurers and reinsurers.
I'm sure when folks were looking at the program today, you're trying to figure out, why does it make sense to have a wildlife guy on here? The best thing we can do economically for resilience is to invest in these natural infrastructure systems up front.
Although more than 10 states and literally thousands of communities across the United States have recognized that they need to go beyond the so-called 100-year standard and have adopted margins of safety for themselves and for their communities, planning future development, taking greater risk into account, federal flood policy had not changed for more than a generation, until now.
About 25% of the time that a business closes its doors for more than 24 hours because of a natural disaster, it doesn't reopen. The bulk of them are small businesses. They have less resources to fall back on. They have less of a cushion. So we take a holistic view of the building because the building will stand or fail as a chain. If their roof is compromised and wind gets in, it will blow the structure up like a balloon.
We all know that the next large event is a matter of when, not if. And we know that effective preparation saves money and, more importantly, lives.